Good morning. Today I have good news and scary news, both coming out of the same place, Alabama. The good news is Roy Moore lost. That's really good news. The scary news is he only lost by 200,000 votes. That means that it was a close race, that a pedophile came within 200,000 votes of becoming a United States Senator. A religious fanatic who wants gays sent to an island or thrown back in their closets and women taken back 60 years barefoot and pregnant in their kitchens, who thinks that slavery was a great thing that brought families together. He was this close to becoming a United States lawmaker. And sure, you can sit there and you can say he was an accused, not a convicted pedophile. But most of the men that we have seen lose their careers in the past several months, almost every day another man is dropping like a fly. They're dropping like flies out there. Not one of them has been convicted in a court of law of any wrongdoing. But just the mere mention of the fact that they may have or they did act inappropriately with a woman, they're gone. But Roy Moore almost got a pass for being an accused pedophile. And for some reason, Donald Trump is getting a pass too. Al Franken is gone. Matt Lauer is gone. Billy Bush gets fired for recording Trump making sexually snarky comments on camera, on tape. But Trump gets to be president. And I keep repeating this because it's true and it's not fake news, people. It's not CNN and MSNBC making this stuff up. Trump said it, and then he went on Fox News, the Republicans' mothership of news, and he apologized for saying it. He said, I said that to Billy Bush, and I'm sorry. It was wrong. And then what does he do? He keeps doing it. He continues to do it. He did it again yesterday. He sexually assaulted on Twitter Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. And if you don't believe it was sexual, please think about what you would say if your boss tweeted that you would go into his office behind closed doors and do anything for a campaign contribution or for a promotion. What the hell do you think that means? Yeah, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I guess you looked yourself in the mirror yesterday morning and said, oh, I can lie once again to protect my man, Donald. You guys have your minds in the gutter. Well, yeah, really? Come on. Come on. What the hell are we supposed to think it meant? You know, over the summer, a hater put on my timeline something that alluded to the fact that I should be raped. The quote was, I'd like to fuck me a cougar. And my husband lost his mind when he saw that. Now that person was blocked and reported to Facebook for saying that. But my husband went nuts. Now, that guy could come out and say, oh, I didn't mean I wanted to fuck you. Well, you know, you put it on my timeline. I am older than you. And you were attacking me. You had spent the entire month of July and August attacking me every chance you got. You went all-out war on political Paula. Again, because I wanted little children not to drive golf carts, and I wanted a swimming pool opened the 2 weeks after Memorial Day. So for that, I got this hate campaign. And then I got the final one where I had to block you, and you said, I'd like to fuck me a cougar. Okay. My husband lost his mind. My husband actually said, you know what? I still have friends from when I was a corrections officer, former inmates. He wants to fuck a cougar. I'll bring someone on down here and they'll have a good time with him. He might not like it, but he'll get fucked. That was my husband's response. Now imagine any of you men out there, if your wife comes home and says, look what my boss just tweeted on the company website. I will go into his office and do anything for a promotion. I think most of you men would lose your minds. So I don't think anybody is overreacting by thinking that we know exactly what Donald Trump meant when he wrote that tweet yesterday. He wrote it. CNN didn't write it. Joe and Mika didn't write it on Morning Joe. Donald Trump wrote it, and he stands by it. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders came out and defended it. So this isn't fake news. It's real. He really said that. He really thinks that. That if a woman walks into his office and wants something, basically what he was saying is she'll give me a blowjob for a campaign donation if I tell her to. She'll do anything. Anything. It's interesting that silence sometimes is interesting. Donald Trump supported Roy Moore, and Roy Moore lost, which makes me think maybe even Republicans are starting to become sane again. Maybe the earth is starting to get back on its real axis. Because it seems that when Donald Trump supports a candidate, that candidate loses. Because we don't want a little Trump Jr. in the Senate. We don't want Trump light anywhere. What scares me the most is who did vote, which, of course, we all knew that that the evangelicals would vote for Roy Moore, because like we talked about last week, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh my gosh, maybe I should get a physical like the president is. No, I'm back. What we talked about last week with faith and religion, that evangelicals will vote basically on one topic, two topics: gays, getting rid of them, and abortion. Putting women back barefoot and pregnant in their kitchens where they belong, birthing babies for their men. They vote along religious lines. They put church before country, church before decency. They will vote for a Christian pedophile before they will vote for a Democrat who is pro-choice and pro-gay rights. So we knew we were going to get them voting for Roy Moore. But on Morning Joe this morning, this Representative Burns said, when asked, did you vote for Roy Moore? And this is a decent guy. Joe Scarborough likes him. He seems like a good guy. He said, I voted like I always vote, straight Republican. Roy Moore had an R next to his name. And see, some voted for that R as religion. This dude voted for him because he was Republican. I want a Republican in that seat. Any old Republican will do. Wow. Wow. A Republican pedophile is better than a Democrat. Wow. Now that's scary, isn't it? That is really, really scary. Again, party and religion before country, before decency, before children. This guy went after little kids. And it made Alabama look bad because some people came out and made it sound like it was normal for 42-year-old guys to date 14-year-old girls in Alabama. That made people in Alabama look bad, and some of them didn't like it. And let me tell you who else voted like crazy yesterday. Blacks. Blacks came out and voted in droves, and 96% of them voted Democrat. Because they said, no way, no more massa, no more. Our voices will be heard in this election. We don't like the fact that people up north are saying that we still live in a slavery belt down here, that blacks are less than. So we're going to come out and we're going to vote, and God bless all of you who did. You did. You made this election about what it should have been about. Decency, country, protecting our children. So good for you. Good for you. So we got to go a little bit back to this Kirsten Gillibrand thing, because thank God we will have a decent human being who is not accused of molesting little children in the Senate. But we still have Trump. Even Ivanka Trump, who has been strongly silent recently, said there is a special place in hell for people who go after little children. Kind of disagreeing with her good old dad, who says, vote for Roy Moore. I need him to help me make America great again. Wow. Yeah, okay. Remember back during the election, this Kirsten Gillibrand thing? I mean, I got to keep talking about it because, again, they keep saying it wasn't sexual. Remember when he said that Carly Fiorina was too ugly to be president of the United States? And she was asked during one of the debates, the primary debates, if she had anything to say. And she said, you know what? I don't. I have nothing to say. She said, everyone in this room and I know exactly what Mr. Trump said and what he meant. And it's the same thing with the Gillibrand tweet. We all know what he meant. Because she says he needs to resign. He needs to be gone. And he fought back by attacking her because she's a woman in a sexual way. She'll do anything I ask her to for a campaign contribution, for money. He basically called her a whore. And when we talk about the campaign, look, yes, I am sad that Hillary Clinton is not our president right now. Okay, I am. But think about this. Think about what Trump said to you. Not what the media said Trump said, what he actually said to you voters to scare you away from Hillary. She's going to spend her entire presidency testifying for Congress, being investigated by the FBI. She may even be indicted and go to jail. Wow, the hens have come home to roost, and those stones thrown from glass houses are ricocheting and coming right back and busting out Trump windows, because guess who may actually be indicted? Who may actually go to jail? We know Mikey Flynn has pled guilty already to a felony. Trump's national security advisor, national security to protect us from terrorism. This dude has admitted to lying to the FBI. And Trump backed him up. He's his boy. No wonder some Republicans won't vote for someone that Donald Trump endorses. Seems everybody Trump endorses ends up indicted, investigated, or going to jail. Maybe not a great idea to follow good old Donald's advice. You want to buy a condo? Ask Donald Trump. You want to have someone to protect our country in the national security advisor position? Don't ask Donald. He doesn't make good choices in those situations. You want to protect your daughters that are entering pageants from being Googled and touched and kissed against their wishes? Don't enter them in a pageant owned by Donald Trump. You want to buy a condo? Ask Donald Trump. Oh my. Look, we got scared off. A lot of Democrats got scared off and held their nose and voted for Trump because he scared everybody that Hillary Clinton, because her husband cheated on her and she forgave him. And, 22 years ago, 22 years ago, this Bill Clinton scandal was. And Hillary paid for it because Trump kept bringing it up. And the only problem I have with Hillary Clinton right now is, why didn't she and her campaign bring up all the crap on Donald? You think you're afraid I'm going to get indicted because of some emails? Look at this man. This man who loves Vladimir Putin like a brother, but is not even welcome. Did you hear this one? Donald Trump is not welcome in England. Our number one best friend in the world, they don't want Donald Trump to step foot on British soil. They say that if Donald Trump comes to England and stands next to the Queen, it will destroy her dignity by standing next to such a vile man. The President of the United States will destroy the dignity of the Queen of England. And again, fake news didn't say this. Joe and Mika didn't say this. Rachel Maddow, Trump did it. He's the one who tweeted all these negative things about the Prime Minister, Theresa May. He's the one who tried to say, oh, you let those Muslims come into your country, and that's why you had a terror attack, and the Muslims did it. And Theresa May tweeted back, you know what, Donald? We got this. Stop trying to do this investigation from the Oval Office in between your Diet Cokes. You're yelling at Mika and Joe on Morning Joe every morning, and you're tweeting. We got this. We don't tweet and watch TV all day. We're actually working over here in England. And by the way, don't bother coming over because you're not welcome in our country. An American president not welcome on British soil. If that doesn't make any of you still hoping Trump is going to all of a sudden wake up one morning and a magic wand will have appeared and he becomes a true president, a real leader, that should really make you think. England doesn't want anything to do with the American president. Scary, isn't it? And get this, I will leave you with this little ditty. Twitter just changed the way you tweet. You can now tweet threads, meaning you can run your tweets all together. Donald Trump's going to really love that. Just wait till tomorrow morning or later today after this, he learns how to use this new Twitter thread. My God, he'll be able to write a book. And while he's tweeting his thread and writing pages and pages of rants and raves against fake news and whores and women begging for campaign contributions who will do anything to get them, women who love being assaulted by him because he's the Donald, he's a star. Who's going to be taking care of our country? Who's going to be protecting us from North Korea? Who's going to be making sure that every single American has access to affordable, really affordable health care? Who's going to be watching America? Because that's actually the president's job. But our president would rather tweet while America burns. Can't wait to hear the comments on this one. As I said before, I want to thank all the people in Alabama who voted anyway, because voting's important. Making your voices heard is important. And I really want to thank those who voted with your conscience, with decency, instead of based on a party or an R next to somebody's name or someone who can quote scripture in between asking 16-year-olds out on dates. A man who thinks slavery was a good thing. And by the way, it was reported he doesn't like Jews, which his wife said, of course we like Jews. Our lawyer's a Jew. She said that. That wasn't fake news. She said it. It was on camera. She said it. It's kind of like a racist saying, I'm not a racist. I let a black woman clean my toilet. And Mexicans do my lawn. I ain't no racist. Remember that. And then remember the mantra of this show. Love shows and grows. There is no room for racism. There is no room on this show for church before human beings, before decency, before children's safety. And there is no room for someone who wants to throw gays back in their closet, put blacks back in the cotton fields, and put women barefoot and pregnant back in their kitchens, because we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. We're moving forward. We're not going backwards. Political Paula, out.